Nobody's going to love your dog more than you love your dog, and this is a fact. And friends and family are absolutely the worst for your dog, influencing your dog. This is my own personal experience, and as a trainer, I see it all the time. You know, you got like a husband and wife, and the wife's trying to maintain like discipline and everything, and then the husband's laying on the couch with the dog on its chest, you know, or like one of them, like the dog's young, and then one of them says, well, let's stop using the crate, the dog will be okay, and then they start having problems, can't figure out why they're having problems, and then you go over there and deal with them, and you find out that one is about trying to give discipline, and then the other one is all about throwing a monkey wrench in it, you know, thinking that, oh, it's just a little steak under the table and bullshit like that. Friends are the worst. You'll go out of town. Do not let your friends watch your dog. You don't know the horror stories I've heard and that I've experienced myself. I did it years ago. I learned my lesson. I'm telling you, they're horrible. Either they think that it's all just fun and games, or they find out that it's a drag, walking the dog, taking the dog out, and then the dog doesn't get taken care of properly. You're better off letting a professional do it. The dog would be better at a boarding facility. It would. I'm not saying that there isn't a possibility if you have a professional handle your dog that if it's around other dogs, it could get in a fight. That's not particularly a good situation. The dog should always be monitored. But I mean, there is a possibility, but there's less of a chance of problems if the dog goes to a kennel. It's a fact. Friends are horrible. They are horrible. I dated this woman that I couldn't tell her to fucking stop doing shit to my dog, and I broke up with her. We were driving around, the dog was in the back, and she was reaching around letting the dog chew on her hand. I'd say, please don't do that. Why are you doing that? I told her over and over again not to do it. It was, no, he likes it though, and it doesn't hurt. She has the dog professional telling her not to do it. She's not listening because she's so addicted to oxytocin. And that's generally what we're dealing with is people that are addicted to oxytocin, which is a hormone that human beings excrete. It's like the cute hormone or the love hormone. Mammals need this to like bond to their children and shit. If you pet a dog, the dog excretes, you know, that hormone, oxytocin, and the human gets a, you know, surge too. So people get addicted to this and they can't keep it under control. Everybody should know about this, and it's something that I call petters. Petters, you meet these people, they'll run up to a dog they don't know, and then if the dog like responds negatively, they're offended, like there's something wrong with the dog. You invaded the motherfucking dog's space, you freak. You don't know the dog, you know, and they're like horrified, like, oh, that's a mean dog or something. I'm telling you, friends and family are the fucking worst. There's always, when I'm dealing with couples, there's always one that's about discipline, and then there's always one that just doesn't give a shit. You know, will give the dog treats, improper food, have the dog up on furniture. It's always like that. It's absurd. We have 4 million dogs dying every fucking year. Every year, 4 million are dying. And we have also 4 million people getting bit. Statistically, it's half kids and half human. Or human, half adult. We have all these humans getting bit. You know? Children really aren't very human. They're horrible for dogs. They are. They have a cruelty about them. One of the worst things you could do is like have a high school or like a grade school walk your dog. Don't do it. You know, pay a professional if you're going to do it. Daycare facility, really a terrible place. Your dog gets influenced improperly, especially if it's in one of these like cage-free places where the dogs are running around doing whatever. It's fucked up. Your dog walkers are horrible. This dog Miko that I trained a while back, a Shiba, they use a dog walker, and I'm telling them, I'm like, man, I'm warning you. Like, you know, you just got your dog trained. Your dog walker's going to screw things up, and the dog walker did. Miko was healing great and everything. And then one day, Miko just stopped, didn't want to walk, and then the dumb dog walker picked the dog up and carried it, and then all of a sudden, Miko didn't want to walk anymore. Why would Miko walk when a human will carry her? It's fucked up. It's so fucked up that don't trust anybody with your dog. Nobody will love your dog as much as you. If you could find somebody that loves your dog, that's great, and will watch your dog and use discipline and make sure that nothing happens, do that. But for God's sakes, thinking that family and friends are going to be a substitution for you is a huge mistake. It's better to pay the professional than trusting family members. And children, man, I'm telling you, watch it. It's horrible. I'm speaking as a dog trainer and as a dog owner. I'm telling you, the horror stories, I hear this all the time. People on Facebook talking this stuff, saying stuff underneath videos, like, you know, just the other day, I'm trying to get my puppy to stop biting, and then, you know, I've got my husband and the kids, and they keep, like, wrestling around with it, and yeah, no shit, she gets it, but they don't. It's all fun and games, you know? So you got to be careful about who's influencing your dog. When I was on Tasho, I wasn't about to have a dog walker come over to the house and deal with everybody. There was no fucking way. I told the producer, I said, you want me to do the show, then you pay for a dog trainer to come in. And it was expensive. It was real expensive. For 36 hours, I think I gave Rex Hughes like $700 or something. Maybe $750. But I wanted somebody coming over there, making sure that the dogs got out. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got lost. You know, I had birds over there too. You know, I just wanted to make sure that, like, they were as safe as possible. Having some dog walker, you know, ask your dog walker, by the way, ask your dog walker if they even own a dog. Many times they don't. I know dog trainers that don't own dogs. This is true. Can you imagine? A dog trainer that doesn't own... I know this guy in Florida. He doesn't have a dog, and he's a dog trainer. He's an idiot. You know? The dog walker that doesn't have a dog is very common. I would say most of them don't. It's pretty strange, you know? I had a pet service years ago, and I did have some employees. One of them did not have a dog, but I was training him, and, you know, I tried to train him as best I could. I had a woman that worked for me, and she had pets, but in both cases, both times there were issues. Like, I would see them doing stuff that they weren't supposed to do. I wasn't spying on them. I just happened to see them, you know, doing something really fucked up. You know, like talking on a cell phone. I said, don't talk on a cell phone when you got the dog, because the dogs, they don't fucking behave right. They know that you're not there. It puts the client's dog in harm's way. You can't tell people anything. You can't. Nobody's going to love your dog as much as you love your dog. If you think that friends and family are going to deal with your dog and influence your dog properly, they're not. It's just a fact. You could tell them, don't do this, and they just keep doing it. They just keep doing it. If you're trying to do something with your dog, limit the time that your dog is spending with these peripheral people. And when your dog is around these peripheral people, make sure that dog is compliant. Use a crate, too. Use a crate and use a leash. And don't be influenced by them. Don't let the human being influence you. Like, if you know that the dog needs to be in a crate, don't let your husband or wife or whatever say, no, let's let Fluffy out. She's over a year old. You know, she'll be okay. Yeah, and then the dog's eating drywall or electrical cords, or the dog gets separation anxiety because you can't use a crate. Don't let people influence you. And that, it's difficult when you're talking about family. Like I said, I broke up with this woman. I was like, fuck this, are you out of your fucking mind? There was this point where I was like, okay, I've had enough. This is my dog. I love the dog. I'm doing what's right for the dog. I don't need you in my life. That's how it is. If I was boning some broad right now and she couldn't, behave around my you got to be kidding me. It'd be a lot quicker than it was that time that I was living with that woman. It's like, fuck this. It's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. If I start dating a woman and I tell them not to do something with my dogs and they do it anyway, I'm gone. I am fucking gone. I put it on the same level as if, like, I have birds. If I was dating somebody and I said, listen, don't open the window, right? Don't open the window because my raven could get out. He could poke through the screen, and then I come home and the window's open this much, and I say, like, hey, look, I told you not to open the window. And she said, yeah, well, you probably can't get out of there. Yeah, that's not the point. You can't follow directions. It's not your pet. You don't really care. And that's what I'm saying is family members, they don't give a shit. Friends don't give a shit. Never ask your friend to watch your dog. Oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. And then they find out that it's work. They suck. I'm telling you. Ask other dog trainers. I'm not making any of this shit up. It's anytime. I would much rather deal with a single person, train their dog and get it back in. There's less chance of, if somebody's living with somebody, they're living with the dog too. It's not like a cat. It isn't. If you have a cat and you're living with somebody, it's a big deal, You got a dog. Dogs are influenced, How many cats are put down for cat bites or attacking humans? It doesn't happen very often. But like I said, we're talking about 4 million dogs dying every year in the United States alone. 4 million people getting bit every year. And just dogs that, like, as a trainer and an owner that wants my dog to have performance, to have somebody peripherally, somebody on the peripheral coming in and trying to influence my dog and not giving a shit, it pisses me off like you wouldn't believe. Like I said, that's why I was like, fuck. Rex, you watch my dogs. I'll go out here to California. I was back in 36 hours. Here's $750. I would rather do that. I'd rather pay through the fucking nose than fucking have some idiot family member or friend or dog walker or anybody influencing my dog improper. I'm telling you, watch out. They suck.